What we were actually doing is he's got an agent now. I don't know if you're
Yeah.
aware of this. Bunky's agency.
Yeah, I didn't know the agency.
He's come into the music business and he's brought in a new approach to it, which is he's built his own system apparently. This is me, from what I'm being told.
Yeah, he's got quite an amazing system.
Well, he's got from the people I've spoken to so far, he's quite an inventor.
Yeah.
But he's come into music. So he seems a man with many talents, and they seem to come out at various points.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing with Mauro. I mean he's one of those guys that, just to put the sort of our connection, we've known each other for 17, 18 years now, and I used to work in nightclubs, and he came to England. He'd been to England a few times, but he came over to do a residency in a new pub that we just opened in Croydon, and at that time. So I'm a bass player that turned into a disc jockey.
Well, I was going to ask you what your connection was as to how you actually met.
Well, I used to be a bass player and work in various sort of rock bands, but times were hard, so I became a disc jockey. But I use that term loosely because, like Mauro, I don't just like to do things.
Well, this is what we're finding. He's almost got a problem in that he's too much of a perfectionist, so he doesn't sort of.
So anyway, he when they first came as a band of four guys, they were given some awful name. I think Pearly Denotti was Pearls in the Night. They were given that. They were given a handle just to sort of go into this club in Croydon, which is Watertown. And the guys spoke very little English, and Mauro spoke more English than most of them. And we just sort of got on well. Because I was doing my job, they thought well, because I worked with them well, and they were terrific, at this band. We just sort of struck it up as friends, and as a result of that, Mauro and I particularly got on rather well out of all the four guys. Although
which is lucky in the music business, because obviously you get all the temperaments.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm still friends with all of them. I mean,
Yeah.
I see all the other guys in the band from time to time anyway. But Mauro and we just had we're prepared to sort of work very hard, and we also played very hard, fire extinguisher lights after work and things like that.
So do you still have contact with him now?
Yeah, actually, I was speaking to him yesterday.
Oh, so have you spoken to him about?
Yes, I did.
Oh right. So what was his reaction to that?
Oh,
surprise. Well, I think he's somewhat stunned at the reaction he's getting to what he's doing, because it sounds like in his life he sort of worked very hard and not actually got much of a
even at that stage, he had a special keyboard that had come from Holland, I believe, and it was a bit different from anybody else's keyboard that they were using in bands at the time. And even then, he'd sort of taken the thing apart and done various things to it. And it made this fabulous string section. So you've got these four guys playing rock and roll and a few songs, and this keyboard player that could put the Mantovani strings.
So this is following up what we're hearing, that he's very creative as well.
Yeah, I mean he just he added another dimension to the band, his synthesizer keyboards and the rest of it. It was quite basic then to what he's gone on to.
Well, it's very complex. He's running off screens apparently, and
well, all the. I think he's got 6 keyboards now, and I think he's been inside all of them, and if he hasn't actually made them, he's literally.
We've yet to see this, so then.
He's a guy that, and he's got this great ability to take knowledge in and read and absorb it. He decides to learn about computers. He'll learn about computers. There's no question of the result he'll get. But he was talking about motor racing, and his father was a racing driver, and he was quite a winner. I'm not sure exactly, I don't know what his name was, but I know that he was quite successful. So Mauro had always sort of had this admiration for this motor racing side of things. And he was working in the band, in the daytime he was doing bodywork on cars.
Okay, say that, right.
Yeah. He's a perfectionist again, so he was doing very sort of good quality work. He's got a love for Porsches, so he specialised.
This is what he's racing, I think.
Yeah. He specialised in repairing Porsche cars if he could, and he wanted to get into racing. So he said to me, how do I go about this over here? And cut a long story short, I gave him a few numbers and went down to the racing car club and And,
is he still racing at the moment?
He's had a year off. I think he's going to go back into it next year. That's what he was saying yesterday. He said he's missed it. Well, he'll tell you more about that, but there were some complications with cars and what have you. But it was, so as a result of that, I was then involved not only with music as mates, we were also involved in motor racing. And again, he's the sort of chap who's picked up the book and decided what he can do with cars is a little bit more than everybody else did. To put a bit more care.
But does he actually have the, I mean, he's actually got the ability to do this as well.
Yeah.
It's not just reading books.
Oh yes, I mean he's a natural, well he's a natural technician, he can just do anything that he sets his mind to. He's one of those guys. I always sort of said, well, I can come up with lots of ideas, but I can't follow through. And it's great because he's the sort of guy that when we talk about things, we say, hey, what about if we did that? And
but having that sort of mind, does he finish what he's, I mean, will he not get bored then? I mean, if he's now,
no, because all of his efforts have been into really two areas, which has been motor cars, which he loves Italian cars, and music. And I think that whilst they've always been there, whatever is actually earning the most money at the time, which is the most important thing for surviving in
well, you have to live, don't you?
Yeah, anywhere, wherever you are. So whatever has been the most successful has taken priority. And
we haven't, sorry, can I just interrupt you? We haven't found out whether he's married, single, or this seems to be a bit of a curiosity at the moment. I know he's got a son.
Yes.
He's 20 or 19.
I'm not sure if he's actually divorced now. I think he is divorced now. But, yes, he was married.
But I heard it was quite a complicated situation with this lady who was had a tumour with, and then
Yeah, that was Shirley. That was a lovely band, lovely artist. She had a bit of a Karen Carpenter type quality.
Oh, right.
She was quite
a good
very,
voice to use,
very clear voice, and with his inventiveness and his ability to sort of double up voices and do lovely harmonies and backings, that worked well. But and she was a drummer as well. So
that's quite unusual for a female.
So that fitted the other part because I'm not saying it's a weakness, electronic drums, but it was one thing that is probably easier to do is to give the drumming to a drummer and create everything else.
Well, apparently on the machine with his design now, he can literally do any instrument he wants to.
Yes, well he's been doing that for some time, and that isn't new. It's just the extent that he's taken it to because he uses computers to.
But the agent he's currently using at the moment is down to the reaction he's getting. He's going now. But he first of all is the fact that he's created what he's doing, he's only performing what he's doing. But it's a case of will he carry on as he is, or is he going to get lose interest?
No, I don't think he'll lose interest. I think what he'll do is if he gets the success he's always deserved.
Well, it sounds like it's hovering there, and I don't know, maybe he found
it will go on, but I think that I think the only time the boredom has crept in is when he's been restricted to working with other people, and I think the fact that he's always had the motor racing as a day job.
This might be that the man definitely
Is there anybody in the room?
In that room?
Oh, there you are.
What time's this not shut now?
Simmy, I've been wondering about that all morning. I kept putting Simmy together.
Oh dear.
You bastard!
How are you doing?
I put it all on tape with that.
Oh, you bastard! I wonder why there's a video camera going. Shit, man.
I didn't like
Have you been taping something?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Look, see, this man is being framed, right? He's being framed this time really nicely.
Bastard! Okay, rock.
Stop, mate.